A group of protesters rallied against Congressman Mike Kelly today for what they say are his continued attacks on human rights. It's new at 10 o'clock. Brian Wilk spoke to some of the protesters who believe Kelly's policies do not represent his constituents. Brian joins us now in the control room with more.
That's right, Jennifer. The group Erie County for United held the rally outside of Mike Kelly's fundraiser, which was located at the Bayfront Convention Center. They want their voices heard on issues like women's rights and voting rights. The protesters were holding signs that said, "Human rights are mandatory" and "Our voices count."
He is very anti-human rights. Over the past couple years, he has voted consistently against bills that would help human beings, all his constituents.
They say this includes voting against legislation easing the national baby formula shortage and opposing common sense gun reform. Coulter adds he voted against renewing the Violence Against Women Act.
Which, as a woman, as a mother of a small woman, that's very concerning to me. My daughter should be growing up in a world that is safer, not in a world that is stripping her of her rights and her protections as a citizen of the United States.
One protester says Mike Kelly is against his vote.
My congressman thinks that my write-in vote shouldn't count. I want to know why. He is my congressman, and he thinks that my write-in vote shouldn't count.
The protesters say Kelly opposes common sense gun reform. Officials with Congressman Kelly's office say that is not true.
And the congressman is actively pursuing different funding opportunities for metal detectors, for school resource officers, for all kinds of different things that we haven't necessarily thought about before. We can't keep doing the same stuff and expect different results.
Brewer adds Kelly is not against human rights like the protesters claim. He's a supporter of everyone's rights.
I can tell you that the congressman is an open-minded individual, if you will, when it comes to LGBTQ and supportive legislation that is respectful of anyone and everyone.
And Erie County United is urging Kelly to support a number of issues, including women's rights and voting rights. Jennifer?
All right, Brian Wilk live in our control room tonight. Thank you, Brian.